Hello everyone, this is Mr. Shank again with Accounting 1B. We're in the second trimester and Chapter 6. We're partway through working through that, and I assume things are going well and you're understanding it. If you're rewatching this video, I'm sorry you have to listen to me, but it's really important stuff and good stuff. We're continuing on with working together hyphen 6 or 6 hyphen 3. So I'm logged into Applia. And so just go ahead and scroll. I'm going to scroll down to my chapter 6, and it's 6.3 working together. I'm going to click on that. Sorry, my mic is picking up the click for some reason. I wish it wouldn't do that, but okay, it's loading at this time. So we're working on 6.3 working together. It's a continuation of 6.1 and 6.2. There's the adjustments we did, if you can remember doing that in those two previous working togethers. And we're going to continue working on this same worksheet. And remember, it's done at the end of our fiscal period, which is one accounting cycle. And majority of business accounting cycle is 1 month. So in this case, we're doing 1 month for February. So the month ended February 28th, unless it's a leap year, but in this case it's just 1 month. And so that's their accounting, that's their fiscal period. I'm on page 166 in the textbook. The instruction says use the worksheet from working together 6.2, and it says extend up to date balances in the balance sheet and income statement columns, and then rule a single line across the income statement and balance sheet columns and total each column, and calculate and record the net income or net loss. Label the amount of the account title in the account title. Okay, so the simple way to remember this, anything above income summary here, these totals are going to be transferred over to the balance sheet debit and credit columns. Anything below income summary, these account total or balances are going to be transferred over to the income statement debit and credit columns. So if we go ahead and did this, I'm going to start with cash. I'm going to go over to the balance sheet debit column and type in 9,800, and then I'm going to do the same thing for petty cash in the debit column for $150, and then accounts receivable Ruby is going to be $2,795 in the debit column of the balance sheet. If I go to supplies, there's something a little different here. I'm going to take, let me bring my calculator up to do this. I was going to do it in my head, but it's probably better if I did it so you can see what we're doing. So with my calculator open, I have a debit in the trial balance column and a credit in the adjustments column. So I'm going to take the 456 minus the 131 from the credit adjustment column, and that gives me 325, and that's what I'm going to record in the debit column of the balance sheet. And then I'm going to do the same thing to prepaid insurance. I'm going to take the 750 minus the credit of 250, and it'll give me 500 in the debit column of the balance sheet. So that's my correct or my adjusted balance now for prepaid insurance of $500. Then I'm going to take the 555 in the credit column for accounts payable for Navarone, and then the Gary Ballard's capital, I'm going to take the 14,885 in the credit column of the balance sheet column, and then the drawing, we can take the 3,400 in the debit column of the balance sheet. And now I'm to income summary, and it's blank. And remember, I said when anything below that actually goes to the income statement debit and credit column. Well, I'm going to move over to the income statement, and I'm going to put the sales as a credit of 4,320. If it's a credit in the trial balance columns, I'm going to leave it a credit in the income statement columns. Advertising expense is going to be $931. Insurance expense, looks like we had an adjustment of a debit in the adjustment column, so I'm going to put $250 as a debit in the income statement column. And then I'm going to put the $378 for miscellaneous expense in the debit column. And then supplies expense, the $131 adjustment is a debit in the income statement column. And then utilities expense, $1,100 as a debit in there. So now I'm going to add up these columns, which is step 2. It says rule a single line across the income statement and balance sheet columns and total each column. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take the 931 plus the 250 plus the 378 plus the 131 plus the 1,100. And that gives me a total of 2790. So I'm going to put the 2790 as my total. There's a single line there, that's ruled and totaled. So let me calculate the income statement credit column. I can do this one in my head, 4,320. Wow, that was tough. So now I'm going to do the debit column of my balance sheet. So I'm going to take the 9,800 plus the 150 plus the 2,795 plus the 325 plus the 500 plus the 3,400, and it gives me a balance of 16,970, and that I type that in my column there. So now I'm going to add up my credit column in the balance sheet. So 555 plus the 14,885. That gives me 15,440. Okay, so you can see that. Now you notice that the columns don't equal each other. So in the step, it tells me to total each column, calculate and record the net income or net loss, and then label the column title. So that's what I'm going to do next. And so what I do is I take the larger number on the income statement debit and credit column, which is 4,320, minus the smaller number of 2,790, and that gives me a number of 1,530. So I put the 1,530 now, and hopefully that's a net income. So now this is 4,320, and this is 4,320. So I'm going to do the same thing in my balance sheet debit and credit column. I'm going to take the larger number, which happens to be 16,970, minus the smaller number of 15,440, and that gives me 1,530, and I'm going to put it in the credit side of the balance sheet column, 1,530, and notice it gave me the same number I got in my income statement debit and credit columns. That's not a coincidence. That's what it should happen, and so which is a good sign to us that we've done things correctly and we're back in balance. So now I'm typing in the 16,970, which is a total for the debit column and also total for the credit column, and I double ruled it, indicating we're back in balance and everything's good. And I'm going to label this as net income over here in the account title here, and that looks like it's correct and done correctly. So my worksheet looks really good. My numbers balanced out and equal together, which is indication I don't have any errors, and looks like we're in good shape. So make sure you click save your document. Go on and work on your own 6-3, and then you should be able to do the application 6-3. So good luck. Hopefully you're enjoying this. We're at the end of the accounting cycle, and which is pretty exciting and cool. So we'll see you in the next go around, and bye.